Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Reaction and Review. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I am so happy. Now that I'm done with Summer in the Asylum, I can move on to something a little bit better. And I believe I found the perfect film. Now, folks, like I said at the end of my previous episode, this one's coming off the Amazon wish list. Now, a lot of people were, looking over there and they were thinking I was going to do Forest Warrior or I was going to do The fucking Room. I'm going to say this, guys. I'm not going to do The Room until at least episode 50. I could have sworn I said that another time, but apparently people don't like to listen too well. Anyway, I am going to do that one, but I'm not doing it tonight. No. Tonight I found something that is, at least based on the cover and based on what it says on the back, this thing sounds like it's gonna be fantastic, folks. Tonight's film is Dead Snow. Yes, folks, this is a film from Norway, which means I can mark Norway off on the list of countries I've covered. And it's apparently a zombie horror comedy featuring undead, thawed-out, frozen Nazi zombies. That sounds beyond awesome. So, I really don't have a whole lot to say about this film. The only things I can tell you is it features Nazi zombies. The film is set in Norway. It was made in Norway. The film is in fucking it is in Norwegian with English subs. I'm going to kick back, guys. I think this one is going to be promising. However, though, I actually have gone into some of these movies with a really positive attitude, and the film winds up really sucking. But you know what? After going through Summer in the Asylum, I think anything would be a drastic improvement. So, folks, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Dead Snow. Okay, folks, normally in these sorts of films, when it's just four people in a fucking car talking, it usually gets really dull, but this film's actually got some rather tight, dialogue. I actually kind of like it. Okay, guys, they actually have a character that I actually am able to relate to because he is a lot like me. He's a big, fat movie nerd. I actually wonder if somebody who made this film was like following me or something. Doesn't matter. Okay, folks, I really should ask because I have never been to Norway. I'm not quite sure if this is custom. If you are out in the middle of the woods and some guy just comes up to your door and asks for coffee, do you just happily let him in? Because that almost seems a little iffy to me. And this guy's kind of creepy to boot. You know, guys, I'm going to say this right now. This film's actually pretty good at building up the fucking tension. After spending a few months watching really bad horror movies in this series, it's really good to see a film that actually has a scene that's kind of sort of tense. Wow, guys. I never thought I would see something this fucking weird. Two people fucking in an outhouse. This just seems disturbing on so many fucking levels. However, though, she actually is kind of hot, so at least that's positive. So wait a minute. He tells everybody to stay away from the windows. After they barricade the front door, what the hell's the first thing they do? They all gather around to look out the nearest window. I understand the characters are supposed to be, like, panicking and, frightened, but God damn it, think a little, man. God damn, that was a nasty death. Wow. Guys, I cannot begin to describe what the fuck I just saw. That was awesome. Okay, this actually is something a little bit new. I've never seen a zombie film where the zombies are, willingly using weapons. That actually is kind of a cool little feature. I mean, at least it's actually better than, oh, they actually are just zombies, except they fucking run. At least this is something a little bit more creative. Wow. So this film not only has zombies eating people and people brutalizing zombies, we just had a woman kill a bird by slamming it against a wall. Because the bird was giving away her spot, she was hiding from the zombies. But the noise attracted the zombies. I just love how almost every person in this film is just completely retarded, but you just have to love it a little. Oh, dude, that was not cool. Uh, one of our heroes here took a chainsaw and he kind of sort of jammed it into the fucking crotch of a zombie and sawed up. I understand, guys, that it's not getting your dick chopped off, but god damn, that was almost as bad. You know, there is just something about watching a guy saw off his arm and then cauterize the wound that's just a little sick. Cool, but sick. Wow. Okay. Well, folks, that is the end of Dead Snow. I'm going to shut this off. Let me pop out the disc here. Folks, I am almost speechless. I mean, I absolutely adored this movie. I think this it is really tough, guys, to choose between this one or Meet the Feebles as to which one is probably the best film I've watched in this series. So, now to actually go into it. First of all, guys, when I first heard that this thing was a horror comedy featuring zombies, my brain immediately went to films such as Dead Alive and Evil Dead 2 and Shaun of the Dead, Zombieland, Fido, all of those sorts of films. And a lot of those, the humor comes from physical comedy or slapstick humor. And this film does not do that. This film goes for a much more subtle and a much more cerebral style of humor. A whole lot of it is verbal humor as opposed to physical. And shockingly, because I was watching the subtitled version, the humor carries over, and it's really solid stuff. The acting, once more, this here's a foreign film. I have no knowledge of the language. I do not know how. I have never spoken a word of fucking Norwegian in my life. But I could just feel that the acting was really solid. Special effects. Holy shit, the special effects were some of the best I've seen in any horror film ever. Alright? I mean, that, guys, is covering a whole lot of fucking ground. This thing tops damn near everything else I have ever seen. The fucking, gore effects were really good, and so was the makeup effects on the frickin' zombies. It's like, it is all really solid. I mean, it is really good stuff. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I really am shocked, and I think it has to do with the fact that I've spent the last 4 episodes watching god-awful knockoffs, that this thing is just coming in as this beautiful, shining beacon of hope. What else can I cover? See, I've covered the acting, I've covered the special... Oh, well, now there is one issue before I get into anything else here. And that one issue has to do with one of the characters. Now, earlier I mentioned that there was a character I thought I could actually relate to a little bit because he's a fat movie nerd. Kind of like me. Except, here's sort of where the differences lie. And the big difference is that almost everything that came out of his mouth was movie references. In fact, he actually wore a shirt for Brain Dead, known to people in the U.S., and I actually called it earlier, Dead Alive. And that, guys, would essentially be like if I had a shirt and let's say I had like a poster for, I don't know, let's say I had a poster for Dead fucking Snow on there, which would probably look rather cool. Anyway, and I just sat there wearing it, and everything that came out of my mouth was somehow a movie reference, going as far as to doing a Schwarzenegger impression that was actually shockingly accurate, especially when we consider the fact that it's in fucking Norwegian instead of in English or, Austrian. Came out sounding really, really good. Man, the writing, well, I actually have already covered the writing. The writing is really sound. Special effects were great. Cinematography was awesome. And going actually over to writing, there's one thing I've got to say when it comes to this movie, and that is unlike a whole lot of other zombie films I've seen in the past. This one loves to get creative with the killings, all right? This honestly is not just a zombie walks up and bites you and sort of like bites you on the neck. No. And this is not just people running around with axes, hatchets, and chainsaws just sawing off the heads. No, we see zombies killed using a snowmobile. We see multiple ways of killing with that. We have one human and one zombie who are hanging off of a cliff, and they're hanging by the fucking intestines of another zombie. We get a first-person view of somebody being ripped to pieces and eaten alive. I mean, it's like if you guys have ever been jaded by fucking zombie films and you just think that all of them are the same old shit, this film is going to change that, feeling, because almost nothing here is a typical kill. It's like they went all out to be as creative as possible with every aspect of this movie, and it shines fucking 'cause of it. Guys, if you have never listened to any of my previous recommendations, I beg you to listen to this one. You have to find a copy of Dead Snow somewhere. I do not care if you buy it. I don't care if you download it. I don't care if you watch it off of Netflix. You are going to absolutely adore this movie, and I promise that. Now, there is one piece of business that I have to cover about this, because this came off the Amazon wish list. The person who sent it in, I actually have a small list of the names of everyone who sent in stuff. I really hope that I am pronouncing this name correctly, and if I happen to botch it, I would really like the user to leave a comment correcting me. His name is Electronics. I am going to put a link to his YouTube channel. I do want you guys to go and check him out and thank him for sending such a fantastic movie that probably made for a really awesome episode. So guys, that is it for this reaction and review. I guys, am just flying. I'm so happy that I finally found a fantastic film after so many awful films. Okay, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.